This video is all about your development indicators, and this is usually asked as a low mark question, one, two, or three. And we first got to start off with social development indicators. So, firstly, we have birth rate, which is the number of births in a year per thousand of the total population. You must remember that per thousand and per year. However, the issue with birth rates is that they may not be accurate because there may not be a reliable system of recording births in some parts of the world. We next then move on to the death rate. Now, the death rate is the number of deaths in a year per thousand of the total population. Again, remember in a year, remember per thousand of the total population. We then move on to life expectancy, which is the average number of years a person might be expected to live to. Obviously, these change in many parts of the world, and this might indicate to us about social factors or healthcare. We then have people per doctor, which is the average number of people for each doctor. And as a country develops, you would expect this rate to get lower as there are more doctors available. We then have infant mortality rate, which is the average number of deaths of children under 1 year of age. Now, there's many different definitions of this, but let's go with under 1 year of age as per the AQA website, which is per thousand live births per year. All right, don't forget the live births part. We then have literacy rate, which is simply the percentage of people who have basic reading and writing skills. Again, tells us about education. We then have access to safe water, which is the percentage of people who can get clean drinking water. We'll then move over to economic development measures, and the key one that AQA GCSE specification wants you to know is GNI, so that's gross national income. Now, this is a measurement of economic activity that is calculated by dividing the gross, so the total national income, by the size of the population. Now, GNI takes into account not just the value of goods and services, but also any income that is earned through investment overseas. We then have a combination of both economic and social, and arguably the best development indicator, and that is Human Development Index, or HDI. Now, this takes into account three separate development indicators, so GDP per capita, life expectancy, and adult literacy, to give kind of an overview and combined measurement. And you can use this to easily compare countries. Think about GDP as economic, life expectancy tells you about social aspects and healthcare, and then adult literacy will tell you about education. So it's kind of hitting all three of the main areas you'd want to look at. However, if you take economic measures, so like GNI or GDP, there's many issues with this. For example, they don't take into account people's quality of life, which is important in social terms, as development involves other aspects, just not only just economic. We also have that economic measures tend to be per person because they're averages, so they don't allow for those extreme wealth or poverty. For example, Saudi Arabia has vast oil wealth and a high GNI, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's shared between everybody in that country.